All right. What's up, everybody? We're here with the grand finals of the North American Weekly, and guess what? A rare event's happened. A North American is in it. The current king of North America, recently winning the regionals with some amazing builds. This is Alpha X ASTREA. Such a creative player. He plays by feel. He figures things out as he goes, and that's why this is such a fascinating match, because he's up against GUMIHO. GUMIHO currently teamless. Actually, I guess ASTREA is no longer representing Alpha X, as they actually just disbanded. ASTREA's been with them for 5 years. They've really brought him up as a player, and such a huge impact on the scene. So very sad to see Alpha X depart. They've run so many amazing events over the years, supported so many players in the international and local North American scene, and generally just been, you know, bloody, I don't know what you call it, the bedrock of the StarCraft scene, really. I feel Alpha X went from, you know, relative newcomers in the recent years of StarCraft 2 to being the one of the biggest and best teams out there. So absolutely love what they did in the scene. Very sad to see them go, but I am more excited to see this PvT right now. So we can talk more about teams later. ASTREA scouts very early, and GUMIHO is a very creative player. Already earlier today, we've seen GUMIHO take out some incredible Protoss players, and we did see him bring out the classic Tech Lab opening into double reactor, where he goes for a mass marine tank push using a single Tech Lab to make both stim and combat shields one after the other. Really cool build order that. I love that he's still doing that GUMIHO special. He's going to open Marine first this game. Interesting. Now, this was actually Nexus before Cybercore for ASTREA. A very greedy build, but I like it. It's a big map. Why not? He's also going to harass with the probe. It forces the SCV off for a moment. He comes in, and he's going to see that Marine. Oh, nicely timed. So he sees no second gas. He sees the Marine. And because a probe is faster than a Marine, 3.94 versus 3.15, he can shade that, well, not even shade, but slide it over. As he starts recalling, it continues to slide a little bit as it decelerates. And there we go. He's got that probe back to mine. Beautiful opening for ASTREA. And this is a 2 Marine into factory and reactor opening. GUMIHO loves going double Marine before reactor. It's why he is so darned weak versus Adept Pressures. That's why Hero causes him so many problems, and Proxy Oracles as well. Like when the Adepts come over and start trading with his Marines, and he's like barely managing to kill the Adepts, but he's losing a lot of Marines, and then the Oracle flies in and just wins the game. That's one of his big weaknesses, but that's not in ASTREA's arsenal. That's a Hero build, right? So different players, different strokes for different folks. Twilight Council's almost finished there. We've got a lot of probes pumping. Chronoing the second Stalker to pressure is interesting. I mean, Marines and Hellions aren't much of a match for Stalkers. It's a fascinating kind of reactive pressure here where he said, you know what? You don't have a ramp on this natural. I can pick off some units with Stalkers, but it's a long rush distance map. You've gone Nexus before Cybercore. This is by no means a quick pressure, guys. He's got to shoot the Hellion. That's the more mobile of the units. Nice micro for GUMIHO. As ASTREA keeps shooting the Marines, which means, yeah, he gets one. He's got to shoot the Hellion, doesn't he? I guess he's taking out the units that do a lot more damage. If he gets to the safety of this other Stalker, he'll be alright. He's trying to do a bit of an ambush, is he? Okay, there we go. 2 Marines and damaging a Hellion. Not bad. That Stalker on green hit points can turn around. That one has to get out of there, though. Oh, this is really good. He's kind of baiting GUMIHO into bad fights right now. Definitely shouldn't chase up there, though. And look at that, man. Great damage so far. 3 Marines. Keeps GUMIHO distracted. Delays that mule dropping by a good 15-20 seconds. Banshee's coming in, though. Cloaked Banshee is going to be the follow-up. But it's 2 Gate Blink, Robo. Very solid build. The problem is you usually only have one Observer, and it doesn't get to the other side of the map very quickly. So I feel like Banshees actually have a very high percentage of finding good damage in this matchup of builds. Hellion's going to come in. If it finds that probe, that would be great. Does he drive it through? No, he doesn't drive it through. He's going to try and... Oh, he's looking for the probe. He thinks it's going to come over. He's like, where are you? Where are you? He does lose it. There we go. Stalker's come back. First Banshee moving down the south. We heard that engine screaming. Reporting for Judy. Second barracks is there. Bunkers on the way. I mean, I always find this weird. The second Banshee into the second and third barracks. Like, the double cloak Banshee is so expensive. To do anything but third command center afterwards always feels a little weird. But, I mean, I guess it just leans into it. It's like, hey, if the Banshees do good damage and mess you up completely, I can just kill you with my 3 racks push. And if they don't, I am in a terrible position. Whereas if you've got the third command center, the Banshees can whiff a little bit. You've still got like the defensive way of pulling yourself back into the game. Because 3 racks is such an aggressive setup, it's a little different. Now, where is that observer, guys? He's got one right there. He's got an Observer and 2 Stalkers right there with Blink finished as long as he pulls those probes away. Loses 2 probes, and oh man, only 2. GUMIHO with some botched micro there. Oh my lord. You can tell the Banshee kind of just stopped moving for a second. It was very awkward. Where's the other Observer? It's at the front. You gotta realize that there probably is gonna be another Banshee coming. Blinking in there is not your priority. But look at this, guys. Wait, is he recalling? Oh, he's recalling. Wait, he didn't recall the Observer! Oh no! Did he mess up? Oh no, he's got a 3rd Observer. It's okay, guys. Never mind. That Observer's meant to stay there. He's just getting a little disorganized with all of his units right now. There we go. Now, a Banshee does move faster than an Observer. Oh, but he stops moving it! If he just kept moving, that was going to get out of there. Oh no, I mean, he does. Okay, he gets the Observer at the front at least. So GUMIHO is getting something for this distraction, but losing that's a bummer. And that, of course, is pinned, which means the other Observers can move forward on the map. Australia's going to go Double Forge and Colossus. Guys, there's Greed, and then there is Astrea, man. 2 gate, Double Forge, Colossus. What? And you know what? It's going to work. I mean, he says, you've gone Cloaked Banshee. I can do anything I want. I didn't take critical damage. I'm miles ahead. Watch me control this game. Stalkers are out there. 4th base immediately as well. Oh my... Guys, this is what you do. If you're playing against a mech player, straight 3rd, straight 4th, non-stop probes, Double Forge. Like, this is how you play versus mech. Or, just if you're way ahead and you know you don't need to worry about a push for a few more minutes. Now, if GUMIHO pushes with his first 2 medevacs, he might actually cause some trouble to Astrea, because these upgrades won't be ready yet, the 1-1. And he might not be ready on his Gateway Explosion. So Astrea does need to rally over that 4th base now. He's building a lot of spotting pylons, which are good in putting spotting units out, but he actually needs to make sure that he builds the gateways, and there we go. So he's going up from 2 gateways to 6. Should build a few more on top of that down here as well. And then he'll reinforce these with extra pylons so that they're not being artosis too hard. There we go. There's a tasteless pylon going down. And we'll be going up to 8 gateways. GUMIHO's kind of... It's not like his economy is the worst, right? He's got a 3rd command center up, but... that 4th base is really good at catapult things for Astrea as he starts transferring over. 2 more gateways as well. So he's going to go straight to like 9 or 10 gateways. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Templar Archives, but then again, he's only on 4 gas. So we might go for more of a straight up... He's building a 4th Colossus. I was going to say Warp Prism after this Colossus and then just go kill him with like 12 gate Zealot Colossus. You've already got Blink. You've already got a handful of Stalkers. This is an amazing position to be in. Tank's moving out. GUMIHO has to just turtle. He's got to pull that shell up in front of his face and just try to survive. Building some depots out here to absorb some Colossus shots, distract some Protoss units, always a good idea. 5th base is already on the way for Astrea right now. Stalkers come in, pick off an SCV. Can he get a mule? No, he can't. Hallucination goes in. I think the Ghost Academy did just not even start yet. Oh my god, it's just started. Now the Phoenix, if he goes back, he'll actually see that just started. He doesn't see it. Kind of just says, oh, okay, yeah, mass bio tank defensive setup. No worries. Good thing I took her fast 5th base. I can kind of match you there, match your tempo. A few Stalkers up there. Astrea's got 2-2 on the way, and that Warp Prism coming out after 4 Colossus. Oh my lord. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, GUMIHO, if you win this game, I am gonna dub you the one true survivor. That's what we're gonna call you. The one true survivor. Or actually, we can call you Lone Survivor, yeah. That was a movie. That was based on a true story. Okay. GUMIHO, show us that Luttrell energy. Show us that Marcus energy. That was his name, right? Marcus Luttrell or something like that? I don't know. Probably butchering it. Anyways, anti-armor missile did go down. I think the Raven did barely survive. Hopefully he repairs that bad boy. Indeed he is. That single SCV. Looks like it's repairing the tank. It's actually repairing the Raven up above it. There we go. Triple Robo! Oh, Astrea. I love it. I go quad Robo lately just because Astrea's finally started going triple Robo. That was my thing. And I kind of want to go quad Robo now just to one-up him. 2-2's on the way. It's a big army. He might just be able to overwhelm and kill. Because his 2-2's not done, it's hard to like go, oh, should I commit? Shouldn't I? Bio's pulling back. He's got good tank positioning, does GUMIHO. GUMIHO's tanks are all on the outside, though. I mean, as Astrea, you could just ignore that tank in the natural, pull to the left, and just clear this 3rd up, right? Zealot's coming in from all sides. Oh, he's got a Prism in the back door. Prism in the back door at the same time, guys. Oh, anti-armor, auto turret will go down. The Prism's going to get out, man. Prism can get out. And look at this. He's doing so much damage. This whole base getting ransacked. GUMIHO. just getting overrun in game one. The Cloaked Banshees not paying off. A little bit of miss micro on both of those Banshees and a crisp response and preparation from ASTREA. All right, guys, let's go down here in the bottom right side. ASTREA with a great start to the series. He's going to go for the wall off here. Gateway at the back, Cybercore at the front. Up in the top left, GUMIHO. He had a rough start to that game. I don't think we'll see more of the Cloaked Banshees. I do wonder, I mean, I feel like that last map, Cistern's a good one for very fierce Terran pushes. Neo-Humanity is a weird map. Like, this is a map with some brutal spots. You get tanks down here, and likewise behind there, tanks can be amazing. There's a lot of weird positions that can be abusive, and this is clearly GUMIHO's map pick, because there's no reason why a Terran would be picking Ancient Cistern map 1. So it looks like ASTREA got the first map pick. GUMIHO now on his map. And, you know, losing the first map doesn't matter that much in a StarCraft series because it's usually your opponent's best map, their favorite map, their strongest map, their most favored map. It's the fifth game, you know, those final maps that start to be a little bit more impactful, I would argue, in terms of weighting. Now, obviously, sometimes, yeah, it does matter. It is a 2-0 or a 3-0 in a series, but we'll have to wait and find out. Cybercore this time goes up before Nexus. So a pretty normal opening for ASTREA, building more probes behind it. He's trying to block the expansion, which has already built on the high ground. So I think ASTREA realizes, hey, wait a second, you would have pulled another SCV, wouldn't you? He's already seen single gas. You could argue he should check that the command center isn't down. He's going to try and hide the probe up there. You can see, guys, he's clicked it up on that top right ledge. And the Reaper, unless he repaths it, it's not going to see it. He repathed it. He just went to the top just slightly, checked his corners. Very well played with the Reaper. Probe comes in. I don't think you need to be paranoid here as ASTREA, though. 9 times out of 10, it's just command center on the high ground if you're blocking like that. Terran players in general have been enjoying the command center on the high ground because it allows them to skip the bunker and just wait until you got a Hellion and a few more units out. GUMIHO once again goes 2 Marines before Reactor. I still am not a great fan of this. I just don't particularly enjoy it. I think it's partially in case there's a Zealot, he just finds 2 Marines way better against that. It's like way less frantic on the micro. So I guess I can understand why he does it. In every situation where there's not a Zealot arriving, though, it does kind of cost him a little bit. Now, he's hiding those Marines. He wants to ambush this Adept, does he? Okay, 2 Marines loses to an Adept, guys, and the Adept's killing the Reaper. Oh my god. Oh, I thought I was going to kill it. Guess it doesn't quite get it. Widow Mines are on the way. These Marines should definitely get behind the wall. GUMIHO with some really chaotic army movement, man. Like, to leave those Marines out there, if they both die, that's such a disaster. But it is what it is. He's the one who chooses to gamble. It's up to him. Stargate's there. Adept comes in. Oh, sorry, guys. Bad observing. I apologize for that. I do say that a lot. I probably should just change the settings, to be honest, to remove the side scroll. But, problem is the profile always gets reset, and I'm too lazy to set it up each time. BattleNet 2.0, you log into a different server and it messes your hotkeys up. It's kind of annoying. Starport does start a medevac. We're going to see some Widow Mines on the way. Command center floats to the low ground as well. Probe is going to move down here to that third base. Gold minerals are there on that natural. Third base starting very early. So this is... Wow, guys. He went a Twilight Council and a third gateway before a third Nexus, yet still goes for a very quick third because he's only got a single Adept out there, right? He's lost his one Adept. The Oracle's going to fly in right now. Don't get blown up by the boom booms. There's one behind the gas. There's one behind the gas. Watch out. Oh, God. Run away. He actually takes out 2 Marines and gets out. That's kind of cute. Oh, God. There is a Widow Mine right there. Right there. Barely sees the edge of it. Could turn his laser on and kill something else if he wants to. The Marines are going to try to pick up and chase him. He just runs away. He says, yeah, no skin off my back, mate. I'm fine with that. And he's going to go Oracle into 3-gate blink, third gas, and the fourth base. I think he's going to do a blink aggression. Has he seen the second barracks there? Yeah, I think he saw the second barracks, guys, which is pretty big. Knowing that it's kind of like this sort of double barrack setup opens up some much quicker aggressive timings from the Terran. However, because the third barracks is later, they're not going to have that really strong 8 or 9 minute push available to them. It's more like a 6.5 minute push that packs a real punch. Definitely something ASTREA has to watch out for. Blink Stalker's usually not bad against that. They can kind of shut it down. This is huge for him. That's really massive. Because now that drop can't even get in the base. I mean, those Stalkers could have even hidden themselves. GUMIHO is just going to have to hide in the dead space. A single Phoenix starting. Well worth it to shut that down. And here comes the push, guys. So Stim's going to be ready. There's going to be like about 16 Marines and only 1 siege tank. The other siege tank just started. Oh, I like this move. GUMIHO. He doesn't have an armory, but he's going to cause a big disruption with this nonetheless. Very well played by him. And looks like just 3 probes go down. ASTREA handles it pretty well. Q's back on. He's going to take out the medevac. Oh, that's a big one. If he can get another medevac, that'd be huge. His blink's not ready, though. He does take out both medevacs, but he loses most of his stalkers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Stasis trap going down. Stalkers are going to pick off the Widow Mines. He's got blink now in a second. I think he can still clean this push up, but man, he's very clumped there. He's going to have to spread his units out. That tank fire is otherwise way too brutal. He's trying to get volleys off in between the tank shots. Very fancy micro for ASTREA. But it looks like this push for GUMIHO, I told you guys, seeing the second barrack should have warned him. But he didn't seem to be able to get a defense. He thought, yeah, I'll build a battery at each base and we'll be right. But too many units got pinned by that Widow Mine drop. And then he lost a few too many units intercepting it. Wasn't able to fight with the battery overcharge. That was a big mistake. ASTREA needed to be able to have units with the overcharge to make it work. Light VIP says, this game's done. I'll wait out there in BattleNet for the next game, man. Third command center building on location. Very greedy follow-up into 8th, 4th, and 5th barracks. Third barracks is just building Marines with no add-on right now. Oh my, man. I really feel like this is going to be a very good situation for GUMIHO. If he can get these units out, if he loses all this army, I still think it's an okay spot for him if he could take some of the Protoss with him. And you can see ASTREA is hesitating on fighting this because he doesn't really have charge or anything. He doesn't have any super efficient units that he can take it out with. Oh man, he's losing stalkers. Like 2 or 3 stalkers just went down there, and looks like that Reddit point 1 did survive, but still, this is not good, man. He blinks in, kills the tank, runs away. That's gonna take away the range advantage. But now there's reinforcements here, and I think ASTREA has just been kind of dragged into deep water. Where look at that, reinforcements on the watchtower almost get a stalker kill. He's gonna need revelation to work this stalker advantage, and he does do so. Those Marines are all going to pull back. Combat shields is on the way right now. And did he go reactor? So he's gone extra. Yeah, standard setup on the barracks. Third command center is up and mining. Massive economy advantage for him. Meanwhile, ASTREA is trying to probe up the third, add a +1, charge, and a few more gateways and a robo. But it's essentially a Zealot Stalker game versus Mass Bio Medevac. The Medevac count is already at 4. All the upgrades are kicking in, including 1-1 against +0. The Stalkers don't even seem to notice the rocks going down, or they do, but now they're, oh my god, they're caught in the black zone. The red zone, I should say. The slow zone. The place where you do not want to be, man. Oh god. Okay, quick recall on the Stalkers. Battery overcharge comes in. GUMIHO is just going to move to the third base. Says, no worries, I'll fight away from the battery overcharge. Those Stalkers ain't going to do nothing to me. Good micro by ASTREA. I love the 2-sided micro for him. He's just so outnumbered that it doesn't matter. You know, you're stretching your opponent's units out, you're bleeding them out, you're slowly picking away. ASTREA too far behind, unable to handle that big push. GUMIHO, pedal to the metal, takes him out. Right, let's go, guys. Game number 3, Alpha Rex ASTREA. I don't care. I mean, the team's dead. It's not like they dropped him or anything. They just discontinued. We're still going to call him Alpha Rex ASTREA, probably for a long time. Until he gets a new team. Upper in the top right, GUMIHO. Used to represent Psystorm, another North American mainstay team. I really liked that build in the last game. Very, very, you know, just the way the Widow Mine drop got kind of shut down, but he just kind of went, yeah, you're not going to be covering the natural. You don't have vision of this right now. Let's go for it. If the Oracle actually went home to track it, that might have been a better move, but at the end of the day, I think ASTREA is kicking himself for his blink timing more than anything. I thought his Twilight was really well timed. Is it actually, I don't know if he can get blink up any fast. Maybe he messed up his build and his blink was like 10-15 seconds late. If so, that's a game changer. However, if he's like, no, I did my build properly, then the real thing is that he just shouldn't have committed so hard on those medevacs. Like, kill the first medevac and then just pull back to the battery, overcharge it, and buy some time. Probe coming on forward. Cybercore is now on the way. Nexus comes down after it on the natural. Double gas wall-off build going as ASTREA's scouting gets blocked. GUMIHO, what do you got in store for us, mate? I want to see this build, man. I really want to see this build. So, what are you going to do off double gas? Is it anything special? Knowing GUMIHO, he still just builds 2 Marines without building an add-on on the barracks. Wouldn't make a lot of sense. I would like to see a reactor, personally, just immediately go down. We'll see what happens when this Reaper pops. Second Reaper immediately. Okay, we're going to see like a couple Reapers Bit of Reaper Hellion pressure. ASTREA is known for being greedy against this. Sometimes he only has like 2 Adepts and they come in with 3 Reaper, 2 Hellion and kill him because he's just trying to get his normal blink timing up. See if that's the case in this game. Second Adept queues up nice and early. And that first Reaper comes on in. Gets greeted by the shade of an Adept. Oh no. ASTREA actually holds it back. Trying to surprise with the first Adept. Twilight Council is up, but that's out of vision. Great placement here by ASTREA. So 2 Reapers and a Hellion into the reactor. Pretty standard opening for GUMIHO. If you can catch the Adept and get a kill, that'll be great. So this Adept needs to shade backwards. Once it sees this, it's like, okay, there's 2 Reapers. I need to get out of here. I say that, he shades forwards. If that can't get to the cliff in time, he dies, but I'm pretty sure it does. Just barely gets to safety. And he's going to recall that Adept. That was a good call. Doesn't let it take any more than 2 hit points of damage. Battery goes down just in case. And he's got a Stalker building that'll be out in time. So the 2 Reaper Hellion, if it dives, it'll be lucky to kill more than 2 probes. And behind this Starport, Widowmines. Widowmine drop really seems to be back in the meta in a big way. Second gateway goes down. Are we going to see a Robo for ASTREA? That probe hanging out tells me he's waiting for 150 minerals, 100 gas. He hits it. And he does indeed put that Robo down. Very nice. Marines, Widowmine, Medevacs on the way as well. Hellion Reaper is going to pull over to the right side. We got the Medevac on the way as well. Lots of gateways are coming down. That's a 4-gate blink. ASTREA does not 4-gate blink very often. He is not a max specs. He is not a hero. Those are the best 4-gate blink players in the world right now. And it's still a very good build defensively, especially if you get some free pickoffs, but I wonder if he just uses this to secure a third. That would be like a very ASTREA thing to do. He's like, well, you did a very 1-base opening. You know, that can do a lot of aggression. I just want to be super safe, so this is why I'm playing like this. Good Reaper Hellion micro so far. Blink will be done in about 35-40 seconds. Is that Medevac coming across the map, by the way? It is. I think ASTREA is reasonably well positioned so far. GUMIHO is going to see that there's no third base here. 4 minutes 30. It's getting to that point where it's like, where is that third? All right, ASTREA is out of position right now, guys. The Widowmines will get burrowed. But he does react, so he knows what's happening. And it's going to lose 2 probes to the first Widowmine on the right side. And then the Medevac does go down. Oh, my lord! 3 probes to that one. ASTREA a little slow on the probe pool there. I think he thought the Widowmine was going to fire on the Stalker, and GUMIHO changing target's got some good damage. Losing 5 probes when you're 4-gate blinking is pretty bad, guys. It's normally not a big deal when you got a third Nexus. When you're 4-gate blinking, it's like, well, you definitely need to find some damage. And look at how many Marines there are. He's already got 12 Marines. If he can get the second tank out, sieged up like maybe right here, plus Marines in front of it, I don't know if ASTREA can find any damage. ASTREA's building 2 pylons right now. He's still got 2 Adepts at home defending the Hellion Reaper. Those units not much use, of course, versus the Stalkers. GUMIHO is going to deny the third base. Stalkers are going to blink in. Oh, he gets the tank! Doesn't even get a shot off. Oh my god, that's a disaster for GUMIHO. His other tank's out of range. The Raven goes down. Yes, it gets the auto turret. But at what cost, man? Look at that. Not a single Stalker. Oh my... Did you just kill a Raven, a tank, a bunch of Marines, and SCV, and not lose a Stalker? Deadly. Wait, and this is a double Raven build for GUMIHO. Oh, such a greedy build. Such a greedy build for GUMIHO. But that does mean that ASTREA needs more damage, or he needs to shut that down at home. And he's not probing. He's all in right now. He is going all in. ASTREA doing some very good Prism Micro. That tank coming in, he needs to blink on it right now. Otherwise, that tank is going to ruin his day. Oh, okay, he's not going to do that. The Prism goes down. Oh, man, he was actually microing backwards. So if he jumps on the tank, he still gets it. You got to jump on the tank! I think he's got to get rid of that tank. Oh, man, blinking everything away and panic here. And more auto turrets are coming down behind us. He's losing units at home. He tries to recall some of these Stalkers out of there. Oh, it's a little bit panicky. I mean, it felt like ASTREA kind of had potentially a win position here. But you can see he is not as adept with that 4-gate blink as the gods of this world. 19 SCVs do go down. I mean, if he could get a probe up and just put his guys back on minerals, I still think ASTREA could potentially win this game, but he cannot keep attacking with Blink Stalkers or he'll lose for sure. And that is because there's 3 tanks out. There's plenty of Stim Marines, 15 of those on the map. I mean, Stim's not done, sorry, but Marines with Stim upgrading. Yeah, he starts a third base and he's got to hold that probe key down. He starts charge. He's got to chrono probes right now, man. You got to chrono probes. You cannot be aggressive right now. Stalker's still defending this. Man, GUMIHO's done such a good job with that Hellion Reaper. Finally, probes are queuing up that Stalker. Is it enough? Just perfectly placed to block it. Really well done. Gets one Hellion. Gets two. Raven. Looks like it came in and did an auto turret and the Stalkers cleaned it up. 42 SCVs to 40 probes. Finally, ASTREA catches up there. 42 versus 42. He's going to play Storm Drop in the follow-up, guys, or maybe just Zealot Archon, but I would imagine Storm Drop. And he's got a Stalker drop that's going to go in the main. There's 4 siege tanks out. Great defensive setup here for GUMIHO. And ASTREA's just probing. He's got to get that economy going. So he's got a 4th gas. He's got 4 more gateways going. I do think there's chances to come back here, especially with that tank not covering that whole mineral line. Look at that, guys. 5 SCVs? 6 SCVs almost. Oh, there we go. Just got to be careful not to get that prism trapped in. This map has so much dead space. Easily gets out. Raven comes home. Does see those adepts on the left side, though. This is really cool right now because I actually think ASTREA is in a very playable position. I think he could have killed GUMIHO. I also think GUMIHO maybe could have done a little bit more damage with the Raven auto turrets as well, but just didn't quite work out. This double drop sneaking out could be amazing. There's a lot of Stalkers here, though. Oh my god. It's really good for ASTREA. Get some free shots off as long as he blinks away. Oh, he doesn't quite get the Raven. Okay. Just a little bit of disorganization with how his Stalkers are control grouped right now. Looks like the Raven's going to get home on 8 hit points. Man, the number of Ravens I've seen survive with 1 hit and then just get to safety, it's crazy. Those Marines already push ASTREA into more of a defensive stance. He's got an Observer up in the middle. Bit of Zealot Stalker. He's got a Prism with 3 High Templar. Psystorm almost finished. The Forge is on the way. And I'd like to see ASTREA squeeze in a 5th gas and a Robo Bay. If he can start kind of moving sideways into that Robo Bay tech, that's going to be amazing for him. +1 armor for the Zealots coming in. Very important to improve their tankiness playing this style. And he's up 14 workers. That's a big worker advantage. He starts a 4th base. Looks like he's just going to go Immortal, Zealot, High Templar. Just a good way to play. That Raven is still 1 hit from death. I want to see ASTREA just drop on Storm! Oh my god! He storms all over it, but a little bit derpy. His army's so far behind. He gets the best storms ever, but he loses the Prism and 2 High Templar. And he doesn't kill the last tank or the Raven. GUMIHO stumbles out into a terrible ambush. And ASTREA gets an amazing first storm. I think his High Templar might not have quite had the energy on the other storms. I don't know what happened there. Definitely messed up the micro a little bit, or the positioning or something like that. The timing, I should say. 4th Nexus is on the way. ASTREA is still playing a swarmy style of Zealot, Storm, Stalker. Really cool style. GUMIHO's going Ghost. He's got a turtle now. I mean, he just got out of jail there. Like, that could have been so bad. I mean, do we have battle report, by the way? It was 14 Marines died. ASTREA killed 1 of his own High Templar with Storm. Yeah. Got 14 Marines in a tank. I mean, it's just not that great a trade when you lose all your High Templar for it. But luckily, he warped in 5 High Templar. And he's actually going to take a 5th base as well. I think ASTREA's growth rate might be too big because he's kind of forced GUMIHO into a corner. GUMIHO rightfully has to turtle up for a little bit. But now GUMIHO is like very passive. And he's going to take a 5th base. Now, GUMIHO sees that. He thinks that's a 4th. He's like, oh, okay, you're starting your 4th base. This is totally fine. If I start my 4th command center soon, I'm totally okay. Or I could just, try and kill you. And you haven't really got ahead of me on economy at all. That's complete misread. Because there is a fully mining 4th base GUMIHO doesn't know about on the right side. And now with 1-2 upgrades coming in for ASTREA, we are seeing equal upgrades. But they will start clawing ahead for the Protoss player as time goes on. Cannons are building on this right as well. I like that. He's defending this ramp with literally just Storm and Cannons. Doesn't have a battery far enough forward to heal it, but just using the high ground really well. Looks like those rocks went down. He's got a High Templar over here. I think he's just looking for flanking Psystorms, and he's got a big army over that side as well, so he can attack in. Oh my god, this is so good for ASTREA. ASTREA! Oh man, is he going to come back? That High Templar could do it, man. He could do some really good damage right now. That could do some really good damage. These High Templar not really flanking in just yet. He's going to come in. Looks like that High Templar did get EMP'd. The High Templar on the right side is going to come forwards, but no Psystorms ready just yet. There we go. Drop it in from behind. Huge Psystorms all over that army. Oh my lord. ASTREA comes in with the 270. Even GUMIHO says, wow. Even GUMIHO respects that flank and is like, oh, wow, okay. I wasn't expecting that one. I mean, that's, yeah. He's like, cool, yeah, okay, your army's there. Maybe, oh, you get some units there. No worries. He was not expecting Prism there and a High Temp. Like, there's nowhere to run. It's like a big, it's pretty much a complete surround. The only place he wasn't surrounding him from was the ledge. My lord. Beautiful engage. All right, well, we got a series on our hands, mate. ASTREA's looking very strong, but remember that GUMIHO has a 63% head-to-head win rate versus him. So ASTREA needs to stay very focused to finish this series because GUMIHO just has a tendency of getting on top of him. Now, for those who don't know, ASTREA actually played a lot of Terran for the first 4 or 5 months of this year. The last, well, I'd say about 2 months, right? After Katowice. So he spent about the last 2 months playing a lot of Terran, got to above 6k MMR, and looked fantastic. You know, not pro level, but enough to really understand the builds in more detail, the intricacies, and it's made his PvT a lot stronger. So I really like that he went out there and said, okay, I suck at PvT. This matchup's insanely hard. Like, I need to go understand it on a deeper level. Let's go do some research. Let's cosplay as my opponent for a while and kind of see what is hard to play against, what's easy to play against, how the Terran likes to react in different positions, get a bit more understanding of the mental game because he felt he was lacking that, and seems like it's paying off so far, but he's still got to finish off this series. Reaper's on the way. It's blind Reaper expand here for Gumi. Gumi not a big fan of the SCV scout. I do wonder, is it worth proxy gating GUMIHO since he doesn't SCV scout that much? It definitely might be. Probe zapping an SCV there. Second gas going up. Cybercore's on the way. Looks like we are going to be seeing a pretty standard opening. No, Reaper into Tech Lab. Okay, GUMIHO is doing the double reactor special, guys. So he's going to be getting stim and then shields out of this. And he's actually going to maybe even play... Is it going to be a factory? Is this a 2-on-1? Is like a bizarre... No. I'm pretty sure it's going to be 3 racks. I think we'll see a third barracks as well. Yeah, Marauder plus Stim. Fascinating. What a cool opening. There is going to be a Stargate opening for ASTREA, which is pretty good against Marauder openings. That probe... Oh, good pullback by ASTREA. I thought GUMIHO would stay there. He could have finished that if he got just one more shot on it. And just doesn't want to... He wants to make sure he doesn't lose his Reaper. He doesn't see the Stargate. Interesting. So he's going to have to come back later to try and get that info. Engineering Bay before third barracks. I've always kind of disliked the super fast Engineering Bay builds. On the plus side, he can build turrets as needed, which is pretty good if it's Oracle. I always prefer a factory or a third barracks, but that's just me. It's just different flavors of doing this build. So the reactor builds, and like I said, I think there will eventually be a third barracks with a reactor, but it probably won't be for quite a little while. 2 Marauders poking around. Remember, they do not have concussive shells. He's probably hoping these get spotted by an Adept just so they force an overreaction. But ASTREA doesn't have any scouts on the map. He's actually just got 2 Adepts, nothing else. He's building Phoenix, which can pick those Marauders up and disable them. And he's gone Twilight Council, so it looks like a Phoenix charge style. Second gateway at the front. Marauders are about to come in, guys. ASTREA's Adept is in the main. Only one here. If he loses that Adept before reacting, that's a problem. We're on his camera. Reaper distracts. And he's going to see the Phoenix there. And the Marauders are running in the natural. ASTREA hasn't noticed it. He sees it now. Okay, he's going to chrono that Phoenix. He realizes I really need a pickup to deal with this. Probes can try, but it's not ideal. Picks up the healthy Marauder in the back, and a few probes and those 2 Adepts will deal with that one. Oh, nice pullback on the probe there, guys. So he only loses 4 probes. I think that's completely fine, guys. He does have to use his lifts. I've been upgrading that one for years. Diva, as always. ASTREA always plays with Diva. He said that basically, look, he's not the biggest fan either, but he actually did a test over at the University of California, San Diego campus, and they were studying his biometrics and brain activity, and they noticed when they actually changed the announcer pack to Diva that his testosterone production went to 8 times the level it normally is at. So he said, you know, like, what can I say, man? It just makes me more motivated, more pumped. You know, I got that energy to just rip Terran players' arms out of their sockets. And I was like, well, all right, man, you do you. Technically, it's not a performance-enhancing drug. It's a performance-enhancing voice pack. So, I mean, it is still PED, right? Performance-enhancing Diva. So, anyways, a couple of SCVs go down to the Phoenix. Third base is up. Guys, he's playing Mass Charge. Mass Charge Phoenix is a pretty slick style. He's doing it without any upgrades or anything, though. So, it's kind of all in. It's so rare you play against this, though. GUMIHO might not even think about it as an option. GUMIHO should scan the natural before he does any move out. And when he sees that there's no gases, he should stay at home. Because that's going to be 8 gate. Now, you do need a proxy pylon to do this style. You should always have a forward pylon up here with a gateway, because otherwise you can't explode into a backstab or a surround or a counterattack or whatever, anything like that. And it's a bit of an issue, because if you're just sticking a 2-gas 8-gate charge, guys, like that definitely can be a problem. Now, GUMIHO's moving out into him, and I guess he expected this because he knows about the 3 barracks being up so early. ASTREA's like, come on down with that medevac, man. I want to pick those units off. Mass Zealot is amazing versus this. I think this is actually a really good spot to be in for ASTREA. He's building 3 more pylons. As long as he just warps in non-stop Zealots, if he can just get 1 more round of Zealots after what he's already got, like get to like 15, 16 Zealots, I actually think he smashes this army really hard. Trying to bait out stims and not really finding the mark. 3rd command center does go down on location. Another Marine does go down. A few Zealots are hiding in the natural, a few in the 3rd as well. And I think ASTREA is just going to go for it, man. Great engage for ASTREA. Phoenix from behind, Zealots coming in from 2 sides as well. It's really bad positioning for GUMIHO. I like that he kind of moved right, which was unexpected. But it doesn't change the fact that he walked into a surround of Zealots. He saw there was charge Zealots and still pushed in. I think that was a big mistake. I think seeing Phoenix and then realizing charge is done because he saw how quickly those Zealots moved through his scan. He should have realized this is a charge style. I need to go home. But he didn't, and now he loses the SCV building his 3rd. His 3rd goes down. This one absolute chat of a Marine sees mass gateway, sees the 2 gases, and GUMIHO knows that he has screwed up. He's building his 4th and 5th barracks in his wall. He doesn't even have a 3rd command center. He's just going to have to pull the SCVs to repair this wall. I mean, ASTREA might even try to bust, but probably not the best idea, headbutting into a wall off. Robo, 3rd and 4th gas coming down, and a 4th Nexus. This is a beautiful transition by ASTREA. This is my build, by the way, for those who don't know. It's Mass Phoenix, Mass Zealot. I tried this versus Beyond, and he took me to D-Town earlier in this bracket. But thankfully for these 2 guys, Nightmare managed to take out Beyond. GUMIHO barely managed to take out Nightmare. But ASTREA says, I have the best PvT of them all, boys. Let's go. Buyer medevac trying to move out right now. This is kind of risky. GUMIHO's got to be real careful to not get surrounded, dude. The Zealot Phoenix can come in. He's just going to go for the natural. He's going to pick up a few of these units. Does not get up the ramp in time. I think that's a good choice to just pull back there with the Zealots. Don't get too many of them caught. Medevac's trying to heal through that. Stuff an SCV. Ooh, free medevac damage. Gets a Widow Mine as well. Oh! 2 Widow Mines hidden behind the barracks. ASTREA stumbles into them. Does lose a handful of his Phoenix, but he's got Blink on the way. He's not going to build more Phoenix. He says, I'm done with that stage of the game, mate. 2nd Robo is a little late, as is the Where's the Robo? Oh my god, he just started the Robo. Okay, that's very sloppy. That's actually very sloppy. Guys, when you do the transition, you need to get the Robo as quickly as possible, because otherwise you're on Mass Zealot. And this Bio Mine army will hit a critical mass that eliminates Zealots very hard, unless you keep picking them up one at a time as they pop out, which so far ASTREA has been spectacular at doing. Widow Mine does take that guy out. There is an armory finish, so those do not get revealed. This is not a good attack for ASTREA, and ASTREA's kind of, I think, realized he took way too long to transition. You can tell he hasn't played this style that much, because something I'll always tell you guys is you actually want to try and get the Robo and a 3rd gas usually started even when you're still in the Mass Zealot stage, just so you can drop the Robo Bay the moment you clear up a push, and then go for like 2nd Robo Bay, start your Colossus production. ASTREA being so delayed on that, Colossus starting at 9 minutes, this is not a smooth transition. He should have already had his first 2 Colossus out by now. Luckily, GUMIHO is down in the dumps economically. GUMIHO is looking desperate and pretty damn good. Now, he actually recalls the Zealots there. A few Zealots still on the low ground. Catching this drop will be fantastic, but I think he's got to give up the 4th. Maybe? He might have enough Zealots to still overwhelm at this point. GUMIHO knows he's got a timer on him. He's got to get in there before these splash damage units get out. He actually catches the whole probe line. Wow. That's a big victory. GUMIHO's back in this game. GUMIHO can actually pull back and play the long game if he wants. He scans. He sees the Colossus. He should know that this is now no longer the best position to be in for him. And ASTREA's going to try to jump on him. Zealots. Nope, Phoenix coming in from behind. Zealots on the 3rd base. Uh-oh, watch out, GUMIHO. GUMIHO's going to try to pick up and drop Widow Mines inside his main. He's, of course, very busy scrambling at home. Has to lift his 3rd base. Widow Mine's going towards the natural. He knows the main does not have that much saturation in it right now. ASTREA getting Widow Mine dropped on this base. Zealots take out 1 Widow Mine. Oh, the Phoenix pick up the other one. This is huge. Stopping these getting rooted is very important because he doesn't have much detection right now, but ASTREA caught slipping right now. Uh-oh. Takes some boom booms to the face. 7 probes do go down. He's got an observer here now. It does clean it up. Widow Mine's over on the left side. GUMIHO's still only on 2 bases, but he's reset Australia's economy to be down at dumpster level just like his. This truly is a North American economy for both of these players. But Phoenix finding Widow Mines on the left. Australia has, of course, a larger standing army, and the upgrades are even 1-1 versus 1-1. That medevac gets cleaned up as well. And GUMIHO has 2 Vikings to deal with the 2 Colossus, and with a Warp Prism, a 3rd Colossus almost out. That's good for Australia. Problem, he's forgot his Viagra, guys. He's only got 7 range on these Colossus. I think he should notice in a moment. Look at how close they have to go. Okay, I think he should realize after doing that micro, he should be like, oh god, run away and make extended thermal lance. Get that Viagra out, mate. Time to probe up as well. He's not probing, guys. Australia's looking very all in right now. He actually just lost a Colossus. Australia's trying to click on the Marines. Okay, oh, good focus fire on the Marines. There's so many Zealots there. Good focus fire. He's got to pull back. And he's trying to warp in Stalkers right now. My god, he's going again. This is such a crazy fight. Australia realizes, though, as long as the Colossus are connecting with the Marines, it doesn't matter because that is so efficient. The rest of his army will eventually win the fight. And I think this is actually a good way to do it. Now, he's still only on 3 bases, no 4th. Australia's looking very committed. Remember, he lost his Prism just there as well. I think he could just win the game. There's 1 medevac. There's no healing. These guys are stranded, man. Drug addicts in a place with no healthcare. They do not get taken care of, mate. You're going to have your bloody leg rot off, mate. This bio is looking very bruised. Australia wants to bait those stims. GUMIHO's being very patient, getting ready to pull those SCVs. I'd like to see a bit of a pre-spread for him if he could. But he's worried about pre-spreading because that splits his units up for Zealots to get on top. You want to kind of start a step back in a ball from the Zealots. Problem, you don't want to be clumped up for the Colossus. Viagra finally starts up. 2 Disruptors, a 4th Nexus, and 3 probes at a time. Australia, he's going back to his old days a little bit, I think, in this game with Sloppy Straya, you know? Sloppy Straya in this game. I love the variety, and it's really caught GUMIHO off guard. But you can see that sometimes you pick the right strategy, but you're just less experienced with that correct strategy. And as a result, you don't play it as well, and the game is closer than it should be. It's a give and take of being a high-range player like Australia is and trying new things out in high-pressure tournament situations, which he does on the daily. He was giving me some coaching the other day, and he was fascinated by the fact that I immediately wanted to write down notes on what builds we were learning before we even got into game. And he's like, oh, what? And I'm like, yeah, man, so what's the follow-up to this? What's the follow-up to that? He's like, oh, I just kind of see what happens and figure it out. And I'm like, yeah, that's really disorganized thinking, in my opinion. But for him, it allows him to flow chaotically because he has no preconceptions. He's never too attached to one follow-up. He's always able to smoothly change from one to another. But in this scenario, 66 probes, his army is now way smaller. And, yeah, he's got 2-1 upgrades versus 2-1. Adding plus armor, DT Shrine. So only on 4 gas. He needs this 5th mineral line to open up. You can see he's got a lot of extra workers on these bases. He's going to try to add a few more gases. And for GUMIHO, it's feeling like he's just saying, well, I'm going to maybe max out, but then I'm going to kill you. I will make Marines, Marauders, Ghosts. I will dodge your Disruptor shots, and I will win this game because I don't have a 4th. I don't have a +3 attack upgrade. I'm not bothering with any of that stuff. 2 of these SCVs, they're in prison back here, mate. I don't even care. His Marine sees that 4th nicely mining now. He doesn't know about the 5th in the bottom left, so he doesn't realize how far ahead Australia is economically. And every second he's giving to Australia is actually a disaster. He needs to get a move on. 2nd Forge is on the way. Double Disruptor with a 3rd Robo about to come in. Now keep in mind, all of Australia's Robo production is at its 3rd base. That's incredibly dangerous. If he ever loses that area, he does lose all of his Robo production and probably the game. Bio Ghost moving up on that right side. Disruptor, Stalkers, and Colossus doing exactly what they're known for, and that is forcing Terran to retreat. A giant ball actually lands. GUMIHO a little slow to run away. He's got to get out of here, man. He's trying to stand his ground so that he doesn't lose control over the location. But look at this. Now the Zealots are going to come in from that side. GUMIHO's pretty well set up with these Widow Mines and the rally of units, and he does even raise the wall just to make sure. He's also going to split those units across. I think he's willing to give up the base. GUMIHO realizes a scrappy game is probably where his best chances lie. Little does he realize Dark Shrine tech is already there. But there's only 8 gateways. Australia's going to 10 gate now, but he never really got that gateway infrastructure up. Balls flying forward. SCVs do get pulled. There's so many balls, there's no way the Marauders can really fight this. So many balls, man. Yeah, GUMIHO just has to turn tail and run. The SCVs on that base going down. The command center could get shot down, but only 8 Stalkers takes a long time to kill a command center. Back at home, Disruptors are being built 3 at a time, warping in Zealots. I'd like to see some Dark Templar warped in to harass that army. Command center does go down. Third base of GUMIHO in trouble. Zealot's in his natural as well. He's managed to take out 2 expansions, or 1 expansion, soon to be a second one here, of ASTREA. He also finds the probes in the top right. Beautiful play there by GUMIHO. Really cleaning up ASTREA's economy right now. And ASTREA has a base on the left. Look at this. Okay, Marauder does get taken down. These Disruptors and Zealots are doing a great job of holding on right now. But I want to see ASTREA recall here. He doesn't have energy. He doesn't have energy to recall. He's 8 energy away, guys. If he recalls to that base, he should be okay. But if he loses that base, this could turn into a base trade. And there is a way GUMIHO could win from this terrible position. That base gets EMP'd. No recall for you. SCVs are on that side of the map. Disruptors, one of them goes down. 2 of them have actually fallen to Widow Mines, it feels like. And, oh my god, the Colossus. Don't lose a Colossus to a missile turret, ASTREA. ASTREA still has his third base mining, which is his main thing right now. And he's trying to push up that ramp, but you got to be careful with Stalkers fighting Marauders. Loses another Stalker for a Marauder there. He's still way up in army supply, but GUMIHO turning this into the best possible scrap fest that he can. ASTREA, though, still has his production. He still has his pylons, and that's a big problem for Gummy, bro. Oh my lord, oh my lord, oh my lord, oh my god, the Disruptors went way too far out. They should not have been out there away from the batteries. ASTREA with a huge mistake. He's going to have to recall. He's got another Disruptor, 2 of them popping out. Another one gets focused down. Another one gets focused down. But the Colossus are too much, man. There's just too much Protoss on the dance floor. The Zealot Colossus recalls. And ASTREA is going to give us a North American champion in the weekly number 177 America's Cup. Heck yeah. Well played, ASTREA. Some people shout USA. I shout ASTREA, ASTREA, ASTREA. GG, well played, mate. Excellent, excellent run.